Yeah, you can feel cold air. It's like you're in an air-conditioned house.
That's pretty amazing. You know, it's like 90 degrees out and there's cold air shooting out of the ground right here. We were on the fourth day of our road trip to Arizona. Our final stop of the day is the Wupatki National Monument, located in north-central Arizona near Flagstaff. The monument is rich in archaeological sites and famous for its Pueblo ruins built around 1,000 years ago by Arizona's ancient people. Unfortunately, we only had time to visit one ruin, so we went to the main site next to the Visitors Center, the Wupatki Pueblo ruin. Well, that's a spectacular sight.
Yeah.
So that's the main part of the Pueblo there, I imagine. Storage rooms and where people lived. And then I think that circular feature is a Kiva.
I think so.
And then there's another one further out. See that down there?
They're showing one of them was the Ballcourt,
Okay.
and the other one was the Kiva.
So the furthest one is a Ballcourt.
Yeah.
And then this closer one here is a Kiva. And what is a Kiva?
A Kiva is a community meeting space or a ritual space, but I think they were using it as a community meeting space.
And here's a graphical representation. It's showing what life would have looked like at the Pueblo 900 years ago. So you can see that it's actually built on natural stone. There's a natural sandstone in there. I forget what those are called again, but that's for grinding maize.
You can get a really good look at the Kiva from here. This is all part of that same structure.
Right, it's just completely ruins,
Yeah.
rubble. It came down the ridge here. Makes you wonder what would be underneath this stuff. Well, the breeze feels good.
Yeah. Maybe that's the real reason people settled here.
You know, one thing I've always heard is while it was still a desert, that the desert was more wet in the time the people lived in these pueblos and grew crops.
Yes. I believe not only did it rain a little bit more, but there was a little bit more groundwater.
Cheers may have once echoed here during lively sporting events. A type of ball game took place in this arena, for lack of a better word. So here's the Ballcourt as it appeared in 1956 prior to reconstruction and excavation. In May of 1965, archaeologists from the Museum of Northern Arizona excavated the Ballcourt. In June of 1965, archaeologists with the Ruin Stabilization Unit of the Southwest Archaeological Center began a reconstruction. So it looks like this is a ball game that originally was a game the Mayans played. It went from the Mayan regions to the Hohokam in southern Arizona and was played within these masonry walls.
Not just ball games would take place here. They expected that also these sort of temporary markets would spring up around the ball courts and the events that took place here. So lots of trade would also happen.
So I've heard of similar ball courts in Mesoamerican sites, but this is the first time I've ever been to one.
Yeah, me
right
too.
Here in Arizona. I would say that's pretty cool, but right now it feels kind of hot.
It's quite warm today. But I imagine that if you were playing, you'd work up quite a sweat. And maybe the breeze would feel really good.
So the earth is breathing through these fissures, and it has to do with the warm air and cold air and moisture. And the result is they've captured the top of one of these fissures, and you can feel cold air shooting out.
Yeah, you can feel cold air. It's like you're in an air-conditioned house.
That's pretty amazing. You know, it's like 90 degrees out, and there's cold air shooting out of the ground right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess for the indigenous people, this was a spiritual place, which you could see why. Cold air coming out of the ground.
That's amazing. So maybe this is why hurricane is called hurricane?
It's called hurricane, yeah.
After this Southern Paiute word for house of wind?
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, could that be where we got the word hurricane? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a uncanny
Coincidence.
Because if you look, There's Pueblo building stone all over.
Yeah, everywhere around here.
Yeah, so most of it's missing. Most of the buildings are missing.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if over there, if you can find evidence of them working the stone, quarrying stone.
Yeah.
Although they may have just quarried stone right in this location, right where the Pueblo is located. So now we're inside the Kiva. My understanding is community gatherings, like you said, civil meetings, or however Pueblo government worked would take place, and then spiritual practices, spiritual ceremonies would also take place in the Kiva.
And there was some kind of significance with it being like where you climbed down into it.
So other Kivas I've been to, and I would anticipate this is the same, had a ceiling that covered the entire Kiva and then a hole in the center with a ladder coming down, and that's how people accessed it. They've definitely done some consolidation work.
Yeah.
Put new mud between these bricks. So in this case, you have adobe mud and actually sandstone blocks that compose the wall. Bricks isn't a good term to use, because bricks are actually a fired, manufactured
product,
yeah.
Not a carved product. It's shady in here.
Yeah, there's your shade. Pretty spectacular countryside.
Yep.
Well, this is the Wupatki Pueblo ruins. Hope you enjoyed our walk through the ruins.
It's an amazing sight. Everyone should come here. I think it's a really good example of what a Pueblo civilization would have looked like.
Yeah, I think the Ballcourt
Yes.
makes it an exceptional site, having that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and please subscribe to this channel.